What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Neezy here, and welcome to another Rejected Heroes Media video. Thank you for following us this whole week for Godzilla week is going down. I just got back from seeing Godzilla vs. Kong, and I gotta say, is this movie good? I wanna say, guys, I had a good time watching this movie. I saw this movie actually in theaters, so it was good being back in the movie theaters for the first time. I saw it in Dolby. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. The fights are crazy. It was just amazing seeing this on the big screen. That's what I wanted to do. So I like seeing the big screen. I'm here to tell you guys that if you haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters, if you feel safe enough to do it, I suggest you go try it. Watch it, you'll have a great time because the fights, the just atmosphere, everything is just bigger, louder, it's just more in your face. It's the way it was meant to be watched. I had a great time watching it, and as a movie as a whole, I actually enjoyed it. On the ride home, thinking about it, I was like, this movie pretty much is the basis of what a versus movie pretty much is at its core. Or just take two classic heroes or whatever, pit them against each other until like, okay, one of them comes out on top, but then you realize like, okay, yeah, they got to team up for like the big throwdown at the end. This movie does all that. Also, found myself saying this movie has good pacing too, because I was like, this movie is an hour and 53 minutes long, and it feels like it too. It never feels like a scene is dragging too long, or it seems like, okay, that needs to be taken out the movie. Just like, it's just nice in the pocket. I liked it. Looking at the pros and cons why I believe that Godzilla vs. Kong is in theaters and in HBO Max now. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. Alright, first off, ending the movie. Okay, we have a couple of new people in this. A couple of new people, actually. I'm gonna say overall, the acting in the movie from all the human characters that we've seen, it's pretty serviceable that you've seen by movie 4 at this point. Yes, now Kong in the movie, like I said, this is more of a seasoned Kong. I will say, I literally saw this with my cousin. I was like, whose movie is this? Godzilla or Kong's? And I really feel like as maybe because we're following Kong more because the humans are following Kong, so we're following Kong, so I feel like Kong's like kind of the protagonist of this story. You really get a sense of like, yeah, like Kong is like he's a nice guy, you know, even though he's a nice titan, but he's not like a monster. He's just pretty much like, you know, normal animal and shit. And I like the movie can convey that, because when Godzilla gets on the scene, you're kind of just like, okay, Godzilla's just an asshole and shit, you know, but by the end of the movie, you feel like, okay, I see why Godzilla's doing what the hell he's doing, so okay, I get it. Now, plot in the movie, more or less, okay, pretty much, how can I say this without spoiling it, even though it's on HBO Max, you can just fucking see it. I won't like spoil the ending of it, but here's the gist. In a couple of years since we've seen Kong in the 70s, so Kong is on Skull Island just chilling or whatever, you know, but more or less you got Godzilla just going on this rampage, more or less, just like blowing up facilities and shit like that left to right. He's just going crazy to the public. Public just thinks that Godzilla is just like losing his mind. He just turned on humanity. So the humans are pretty much like, yeah, let's just take Kong off of Skull Island and just pretty much pit him against Godzilla. That's what the movie is trying to pitch you what's happening. Even though it's not what's really happening, but it's pretty much like, yeah, Godzilla's going crazy, and the only person that can put him in his place is a Kong. So of course, two gotta meet up, and then they square down, they fight and shit, and that's one of the things that's going on in this movie. So I don't want to really spoil it too much, because there is a third element that's happening, but kind of a spoiler a bit, and I don't want to like talk about it, because if you haven't seen it, or if you're just like, you got your head in the hole, well, you might not know what this is, but if you know versus movies, and if you've seen the trailers, if you know what the fuck is, if you're a Godzilla fan in the slightest, then you know what the hell like the other subplot is, or what that leads to in the later half of the movie, but I ain't talking about it here. Yeah, just know that Kong and Godzilla, they fight each other, and that's what you need to know. That's why it's in the title. For the movie, the fights in the movie are bombastically great. If there's two fight scenes in the movie, with a third fight scene, again, that's in the movie, that's at the end, not gonna talk about it. But even though that fight at the end is it's pretty good too, that was a pretty good fight too. But the main fight that you saw in the trailer is the fight that's on the freighter and shit, you know, with Godzilla come out the water, and him and Kong are squaring off, you know, that fight was pretty good and everything like that. Even though Godzilla had pretty much the clear advantage, because, you know, it's water. But when they fight again in Tokyo, when it's like on dry land, that's when the real big fight goes down, and it is crazy to see, because Kong is all acrobatic and shit, and the way the fight's framed up, you can actually tell what's going on. That was like the main issue with King of the Monsters. It was like, okay, the fights are happening, but it's all at night, and you can't tell what's going on. The fights are like, you see what's going on. These fights were actually framed up well. They were shot well. You could follow Kong when he's fighting. You could follow Godzilla when he's fighting. So it framed it up great. You could tell what's happening. So I like that aspect. That was good. And I will say this movie does have a good story to it. It's an easy story to follow, and I will say that this is the most well-rounded of all 4 movies. I mean, Kong's got about the movie the fact that there are a lot of like, why would they do this if they did that? A lot of like movies got a movie type moments in it. It was just like if they zig when they see the zag, then this wouldn't happen. Like I will say, not really a spoiler, but I will say this. And there was a point where they helicopter Kong to this location because they didn't want to put him in the water because they were like, okay, if they get him off Skull Island, Godzilla's gonna know and it's gonna beeline it straight forward. That was literally just like, well, if they just flew him from Skull Island directly to this other place, then Godzilla wouldn't have known he got off the island. Godzilla wouldn't have been able to reach him, and then the first fight wouldn't happen. Man, why didn't they do that? Because the movie has the movie, and that's the answer. Anyways, at the end of the day, Godzilla vs. Kong, got a great time with it. I would suggest you definitely check it out in theaters. It was a pretty fun time to go back to the movies and just enjoy it. Monster fights are bombastic, they're crazy, it's great, it's a good time. So overall, I will say that Godzilla vs. Kong is definitely an 8 out of 10, which is definitely worth seeing at full admission. Even though you can just watch on HBO Max for free, but worth full admission. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for following us on Godzilla Week, and we hope to see you in the next video for Falcon Winter Soldier. Can't wait to watch it with you guys, and as always, subscribe. Until next time.